New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, good evening to everyone from across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and guaranteed, always exciting edition of the Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, and I'm broadcasting this evening from the extremely secret radio room, surrounded by thousands, and I mean thousands of watts, in the secure concrete bunker somewhere around Akron, Ohio, that is so top secret. Only one person knows where the concrete bunker is located. Everyone else, especially that Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who's down in Mexico this week with his lovely wife, Laura, especially him, he does not know where it's at, and we're going to keep it that way. Well, we do have a wonderful show for you this evening. Please feel free to interact. We are live. Yes, we are live here at 8 o'clock Eastern. So please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments either in Facebook or on YouTube. And again, for all my shy people out there, I know you're out there. You don't want to comment. You're afraid of your name being up there on the screen. Well, okay. I understand that. You can just go to pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. I do read the emails during the week, so feel free to get in touch with me. pastormichaelmangus@gmail.com. So the purpose of our Fireside Chat here every week is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep saying all the time, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world, and how we, by changing our awareness, our consciousness, that we can be a big part of bringing about a world that does work for all. Well, guess what? Now, none of you cry over this, okay? Don't be sad about this. I don't have any news for you tonight, okay? Our thoughts and prayers are with the individuals in Brazil. There was a plane crash killing everyone, 62 people. So our thoughts and prayers are with the folks down in Brazil here. However, we're going to talk about the news this evening, because we are actually going to get Spirit's perspective from this man. That is the Reverend James Webb. Reverend Jim is our host of the Miracle of Prosperity on Sunday evenings, and also a brand new show called Spirit Speaks, which he'll talk about here in a moment. And we're also going to talk about, he has a brand new book coming out next month called forgive your way to prosperity. And also, just for you tonight, we are going to show you his brand new classes coming up just for you. Reverend Jim, thank you for being on such short notice.
It's always my pleasure, Pastor Michael. I'm glad to be here. Thank
Oh,
you for inviting me.
oh, okay. All right. So what are you doing on Monday evenings here? The Spirit Speaks. Now, I guess it came about because that you had some individuals coming up to you and or that you were watching the news and saying, why don't we get Spirit's perspective on this? So share more about that.
Sure. The way that Spirit Speaks on the World Today came about was that uh, when the president decided not to run again, and after the debates, there was all this confusion. When the polls started shifting one way, there was all this confusion. And people were literally pulling their hair out because you see, not only do I counsel and provide coaching and readings for my congregation, but I also do counseling and coaching for people around the country and around the world. And the concern was all the same. What's happening? What's happening? So people were kind of running around like their hair was on fire. And many of my clients, my counseling clients, my coaching clients, they were the same. And I said, well, don't ask me, we'll ask Spirit. And it occurred to me, if everybody in my sphere was concerned, then a lot of people in the world were concerned, and people needed to hear Spirit's perspective because we were all looking at everything through the lens of our own fears.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a different way. So that's what made me start doing Spirit Speaks on the World Today. People needed guidance, reassurance, and a different perspective.
All right. So channeling for my world is something again that I'm still getting used to. And
Yeah. You too, huh?
well, no, it's because again, for my tradition, I'm pretty fundamentalist New Thought that
Yeah.
we usually do not, I think the shift came with Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
with the Hicks,
Yes.
with Esther Hicks. That what happened is that there was some wonderful information that was coming through Esther from
Mm-hmm.
Abraham that could not be denied.
Yes.
So then people were so talk about channeling and what about for people who are still getting used to the whole idea of channeling?
Yeah. Well, I think that people are more accustomed to channeling than they realize because a lot of the new thought information was actually channeled information or inspired
No,
information. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
people are more familiar with channeled information than they think. But I like to demystify it, Pastor Michael. I like to demystify channeling because we've all done it to some degree or another. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been thinking about someone? Say, for example, during the day, you think about an old friend maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 times,
Hmm.
and then you're in coming home, you're walking in the door, and the phone is ringing, and it's that friend.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
you channeled in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, in a sense, we are all like those radio towers or those cell phone towers, and there are signals going through the air all the time, and we pick them up. Most of the time, we explain it away by coincidence,
Right.
but we're really channels. We're really receiving information from the universe at all times. And so, deliberate channeling is simply closing out all your outer senses, allowing your inner senses to become more attuned and more aware of the information that's always there,
Hmm.
being comfortable with it, and opening yourself by purifying to be the clearest, purest channel possible for the most loving and highest vibration possible. Just like a radio tunes to a certain frequency, you condition yourself to tune to the highest frequency of love possible. And then that high energy of love comes through you. That's what channeling is.
Oh, wonderful. So talk to us about the beings that channel through you called the masters.
Okay. Yeah. They call themselves the masters of planetary healing and transformation. And these beings that channel through me gave themselves that name because their task is to help us all to heal and transform so that we can help others to heal and transform. And they kind of work along the premise of A Course in Miracles, that we are lighthouses and that we all have the function of shining light brightly so that others' light is activated within them, so that we all shine that light and that light heals the earth.
Oh, wonderful. So I've had the opportunity to produce and also to assist you. Now, do the masters like me?
The masters love everyone.
Everyone. Okay, well, good. I'm glad. So I was going to try to make a funny out of it. I'm not. So you see, when you're out, what I notice is you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that you have to replay the show that we do to find out what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done about 3 or 4 shows
Yes.
of Spirit Speaks.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some of the themes that are coming up during the sessions?
Some of the key themes that come up during the sessions are, number one, that love has already prevailed. Because so many of us see the evolution of the earth as energies of division, hatred, and destruction versus energies of love that want to prevail. And one of the overarching messages is that no matter how bleak it may look at any given time, love has already prevailed. And there's a very interesting reason they give that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The reason that they give that perspective is that they have a perspective that anything that comes up that seems to be unsettling, scary, divisive, or destructive, it comes up for healing.
Right.
And the energy that has forced it in our faces is the energy that has already prevailed in order to heal it. Our task is to see it, to acknowledge it, to recognize it consciously so that it can be submitted to the light for healing. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time it comes up, 80% of the healing has already been done. And that is why they are more reassuring than we feel about stuff that comes up. When it comes up out of our individual consciousness or out of the collective consciousness, it's the first we've seen of it. But they've been seeing this like lava waiting to be spewed from a volcano. They've been seeing it and working with it for a long time before it comes to the surface. So that's why they can be more reassuring than we feel.
So the beings on the energies on the other side, then, do they pray for us or do they intercede for us here on this planet?
They do the best we allow.
Okay.
And I'll explain that a little bit more. There is always free will, and they cannot, if our soul has made a contract to come here, to have certain experiences, to learn certain lessons, or to heal certain things, they can't interfere with that. But they can offer us guidance, they can offer us perspective, they can offer us support, and they can offer us comfort. And I'll share with you the limits of their intercession in a funny story, okay?
Sure.
Years ago, I was skiing in Whistler, Canada, and
Okay.
I was a young whippersnapper back then. I had knees back then to ski.
Okay.
And they said, and conventional wisdom always was, if you've been on a week-long ski trip, the last run of the last day is the run you shouldn't take. You shouldn't take that run because number one, it's already getting dark by about 4 o'clock. It's already getting dark. The sun is setting. Number two, all the snow is skied off and it's only ice. Number three, it's been warm, so the snow is melted and it's just ice anyway. Number four, you're absolutely tired and your reflexes aren't as they should be. So don't take that run.
But
I did.
yes, and what happened?
Well, first, as I was in line on the ski lift, I could hear Spirit as clear as day. Are you sure you want to do this? And my ego, of course, said, of course I do. I'm an expert skier. And I heard Spirit again. Are you really sure you want to do this? And I'm like, of course, I'm an expert skier. And that Spirit was, well, isn't this the last run of the day and the last run of the week? And what do they say about that? And it's like, well, conventional wisdom says not to take that run, but I'm an expert skier. And Spirit's like, okay. And you know what Spirit did then? They called all their friends. Hey, Morty. Hey, Saul. Come on over here. Watch this.
And then what happened?
I got to the top of the mountain, and it was like that montage on the wide world of sports,
Okay.
where the skier just comes down the hill and then just tumbles, and gloves go one way, skis go the other way, poles go one way, and they're just tumbling down the hill.
You mean the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat? Is that?
I was the agony of defeat in the snow. And they call it a yard sale because all of your ski gear is everywhere when you tumble like that. One pole here, one glove there, one ski here, one boot there, because you tumble out of everything. Well, I did. And Spirit was like, we're so sorry. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee. And of course, they didn't laugh at me. But I tell you that story because they couldn't say, they won't tell you what to do. They won't tell you what not to do. But you can guess by the way they phrase things, whether it's advised or not. And you always have free will. So my free will overrode their advice. And we all do that from time to time.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that's the limit of how they can intervene. They cannot interfere with our free will. And sometimes we can be kind of willful. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. If you're wondering what we're talking about this evening, hi, this is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on Your New Thought Media Network. This is the program that we're talking about. This is Jim Webb's new program. It's called Spirit Speaks on the World Today, and it's at 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Mountain Time on Mondays. And again, with this channeling thing being still a little new here, I always judge it against the whole idea of you will know by the fruits that are produced. And I just have felt very peaceful and comforted. And so the masters take questions. So if you have specific questions, now again, that they do not give a prediction about, especially about the election, but from my observation, is what they do is they read the energies and just say, this is the direction that we are going. So many people are afraid that our former president, number 45, is going to get back into office, that there is a lot of division in this country, that many of the liberties that are won over the past few years, especially those for the LGBTQ communities, are being erased. that we are going back to Christian values, which I don't see any of those Christian values as being Christian or being Christ-like. So, what are you sharing with individuals who come to you with those kind of concerns?
One of the things that they often say, because spirit can see around the corners that we can't, and there's always free will, just like I had the free will to take that last run. But there is a preponderance of energy that indicates that the light has already prevailed, that we've seen enough. One of the things they said recently was quite fascinating. They said, as it relates to the elections, they said Americans have already seen the movie, meaning that many more Americans than ever before are aware of the stakes and the consequences of our collective decision. And many Americans are saying, I've already seen this movie. We don't need to replay it. And although they won't give a prediction, they are reassuring that that, like in A Course in Miracles, lesson 292, a happy outcome to all things is assured. And if
Mm-hmm.
the outcome isn't happy yet, God isn't finished with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things they help us to do is that they help us to create that environment. I was very impressed with a deeply healing meditation that they did a couple weeks ago. And the mantra that they drilled down into our consciousness was, the world, I am safe in the world I create with God.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was so powerful and so healing, because it spoke to the idea that we are creating with God an inner world of safety. And as we do that collectively, that energy is grounded onto the earth. That energy then travels over the earth and becomes a part of the predominating energy on the earth. And you might say, well, how can a handful of people, although we've had like 700 hits on some of our shows, people watching our shows, but how can that many people inspire or change the whole planet? And they give an example of the Madagascar effect, where a butterfly flapping its wings in Madagascar, that butterfly creates a current. And
Yes.
that energy current then travels over the Atlantic Ocean. And by the time it gets to the coast of the Americas, it's a hurricane. And they say that our collective power, energy, and intention can have that Madagascar effect. So when we create this energy of internal safety by co-creating a space within us that is safe in the inner world that we create with God, and we send that energy out into the world, that helps everyone to feel safe and to magnify a sense of being safe in the world. And if we all feel safe, then those things that scare us won't have the power over us. And they are like the example of Glinda the Good Witch from The Wizard of Oz, when she said, "Be gone, you have no power here." Because, because that sense of inner safety disempowers the fears that otherwise would drive us nuts and have been driving us nuts.
Well, what drives me nuts is I have close friends
Mm-hmm.
who are part of the support of Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And that the other day I went ahead and I put something up about the new vice president, about his new vice presidential candidate.
Mm-hmm.
That the meme was that, again, of him holding a rifle. And
Mm-hmm.
then one of my friends from my radio professional support group went
Yeah.
ahead and wrote in, says, I, he's nothing but a traitor. He went ahead and he deserted his troops before they went to Iraq, and on and on. And so I went ahead and I put up a news article from pretty credible news source, ABC News. They
Right.
had a kind of a both sides perspective of it, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was very balanced journalism.
Mm-hmm.
So then this gentleman goes ahead and he puts up something from the New York Post, um, which I consider tabloid journalism, but that's
Yeah.
my opinion. And
Right.
also that was the opinion of someone high up in my denomination.
Right.
And so, so my reporter friend comes back and says, "I have 4 decades of experience, and you don't know what you're talking about." And I just said, "You know what? Enough's enough." And I just went ahead and I just clicked. I took off the meme. I said, this discussion is just not worth it here. It's
Yes.
not going to help. It's not going to change his mind
Yes.
or anyone's mind. It's not very helpful. So
Yeah.
give us some things that we can do practically to not only work with family members who they seem to be on the other side, but they're not. But their point of view is opposite of ours. How can we love them? How can we support them? How can we not go ahead and just say, well, later?
Yeah.
You can't divorce family. You
You
can
can't divorce family.
you can't divorce family. So, your opinion, Reverend Jim Webb.
Yeah. What the guides teach us about this situation is that this whole political situation is a lightning rod for the pain that we've all felt. The pain of alienation, the pain of feeling not heard, not seen, and not valued, the pain of feeling as if the world has passed us by and we will not get what we need to survive. That's what everybody's feeling, no matter where you are in the political spectrum. And what is the antidote for pain? It is love. So, our task, first of all, is to open ourselves to the full unconditional love of Spirit and allow Spirit to touch, heal, and embrace those places within us that are in pain. And when those places within us that are in pain are addressed, and I love the mantra that they use, the world I create, I am safe in the world I create with God, that
Mhm.
helps us to feel safe. That the excess energy, because that energy of love that we call forth is an infinite supply. That loving substance is an infinite supply.
Yes.
And when we are sated with the feeling of our safety, then the excess then goes to others. And it doesn't have to involve a political conversation or anything like that. They will feel and know the love that their hearts need if they are receptive to it. And if not, it'll be added to the reservoir of love that those who call out for love will receive.
So it was a couple of weeks ago, and that there was, I don't have this often, but there was such a peace that came over me about
Mm,
this whole situation.
yeah.
And that, yes, I think what we're seeing is the vestiges of hate going away.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, and again, it's like a lot like childbirth that,
Mm,
it's going to get messy here,
mhm.
but we will be glad for the outcome. So it's going to be, again, a very interesting few months here. Again, Jim has given us some practices, and please, again, join us on um, Monday evenings at 5 o'clock, and then you get to ask questions if you would like. But again, what I've been hearing um, through the masters again has been, it's going to be okay. Somehow or another, we're all going to make it through.
Yeah.
And that again, that what's happening here is the the birth pangs of a new world, especially here in our country, is that there will be tremendous healing, especially after the election. That's my prediction. So go ahead.
That reminds me of something they said in one of the first sessions. They talked about how America was a new world. In other words, when this new America was conceived or perceived, it was perceived as a new world, a world with a new vibration, new possibilities, where anyone could come and live and experience their soul's fullest potential, regardless of caste or family. And that was already the ideal. And that we didn't have to destroy the earth to create a new heaven and a new earth in the form of the United States of America. And they said this new birth would be like a second chapter of that, where the next level of this ideal would be experienced. Because as you know, we've experienced it to a degree, and they even said we always want to try to form a more perfect union. But they said that the energy is taking a quantum leap so that the next level of this ideal could be achieved. And the fascinating thing that they alluded to was that we don't have to destroy the earth and start over like an Etch-a-Sketch to do it. And so all those dire earth changes that have been predicted are not necessary because there's enough light on the earth to do it without all that upheaval. And that too was very reassuring.
And that those who are aware that we are here this time on purpose, and we are here again to uplift the planet and also to support this birth of a new heaven and a new earth. So that's what I believe that we are doing. Reverend Jim, can you hang out for a little longer here?
Sure.
While we do a few announcements. Reverend
Okay.
Jim Webb is with us this evening, and we're going to take a quick break and do a few announcements, and then we'll have Jim back. Jim has some wonderful classes coming up in the fall, and also he has a brand new book called Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. So we'll talk about that in the second half of the program. Well, hi there. This is the Friday Evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Let's have some announcements here. And yours truly is currently parking himself at Summit CSL. For more information, go to summitcsl.org. There you will find all kinds of information about our wonderful Sunday online gathering, which is at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific time. Grab your cup of coffee, your tea, your espresso, whatever wakes you up in the morning, and please join us. And again, I do believe that we have one of the best services that I've seen in New Thought, balancing what I call the 3 M's: music, meditation, and message. This Sunday, we have gone to great expense. We will have as our speaker, New Thought Media Network superstar and all-around nice guy speaking this Sunday, the Right Reverend Michael Mangus. So go to summitcsl.org for more information on how to join the Zoom call. Again, our services are also simulcast on our Facebook page, which is the Summit Spiritual Center of Akron Facebook page, and also our Facebook page. And my YouTube channel also has past broadcast of the Fireside Chat and yours truly when he's doing prayer on the New Thought Media Network. And very quickly, again, we're into the summer season here, and it just amazes me how this network and this idea that was birthed through Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, how we are affecting the planet with this message, how we are supporting and loving people. And you get to be a part of that. And you do so by keeping us in prayer and affirmative prayer, and also by going to our website, going to ntmedia.org/donate. There you can give a very generous one-time gift, or you can do like myself and Jim Webb. We give on a monthly basis. What the sustaining gift does is it really helps us, again, to not only continue our programming, but also to buy the necessary equipment and the things that we need to do things like stream conferences at 1/3 the cost that it would be for these organizations, especially New Thought organizations, that they would have to spend to have, again, a professional outside group come in. So we provide a real ministry, not only to them, but also to the planet. So again, thank you so very much for your support. And again, join with us, partner with us. Let us reach the world together. ntmedia.org/donate. Okay. We will be back with a lot more with Reverend Jim Webb after these commercial messages. As he says, we're going to go sell some soap. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center, Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Along with my special guest this evening, the host of our very successful program on Sunday evening called The Miracle of Prosperity, and also a brand new program called Spirit Speaks on Monday, the Reverend Jim Webb. And Jim has the highest rated program on our network for both of his programs. So again, if you have not seen Jim's program, especially on Sunday evenings, please join us. It is such a great program. And again, prosperity is a lot more than money. Okay, so we talk about the different aspects of prosperity, and Jim has a variety of guests that come on. All right, Jim, so you have a brand new book coming out called Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. So tell us a little bit about the book and when will it come out?
It will come out on somebody's birthday, September 1st. And the book is based on A Course in Miracles lessons 121 and 122. Forgiveness is the key to happiness, and forgiveness offers everything I want. And what we do is we look at forgiveness in a totally different way. Most people think of forgiveness as a verb, as something that you do to absolve someone else of the sin they committed against you. But forgiveness, we look at it in a different way. We don't look at forgiveness as a verb that we do to someone who has committed a sin. We look at forgiveness as an inner state of oneness with God and holiness and inner peace that we attain. And when we attain that sense of peace from within, we then allow only our good. And that person who hurt us had a lesson to teach us. And when we learn that lesson, we don't need to perpetuate that pain. So when we get into this state of oneness, holiness, or forgiveness, that is a key to allowing our prosperity. So that's the premise of the book. And the book provides more information on how to attain this perspective, and not only how to attain this perspective, but how to maintain this consciousness and how to allow it to allow us prosperity.
All right. So I hear someone out there saying, well, Reverend Webb, that is fine and dandy. However, you have not been in my moccasins here, and you have
Yes.
not gone through what I have gone through. I've been through. Again, you can go ahead and name it trauma, rape,
Yes.
verbal and
Denigration.
physical abuse,
Yes.
all kinds of things. And the one thing that has been coming up also has been religious abuse through
Yes.
clergy. So
Yeah.
talk about that and how we can forgive the unforgivable.
Yes. Again, the way that we can forgive the unforgivable is by treating forgiveness in a different way. There's a lesson in A Course in Miracles, let me see forgiveness as it really is. And what we do once again is we look at the part of us that has been wounded or hurt, and we heal that part of us. And once we allow the grace of God to heal that part of us, then we can let go of the grievance that we had against our oppressor, no matter who or what it was. Because the part of us that was in pain and that was in that painful relationship with that oppressor, that part of us has changed, that part of us has healed, that part of us has transformed, and the energy between us and the oppressor has been healed or dissolved. And once that dissolution occurs, we don't carry pain around them. We don't carry hurt around them. We don't carry trauma around them because our pain, our hurt, our trauma has been healed.
So
and that's when we can release them.
So you're proposing here that, again, that usually the technique is that we forgive them. What you're saying is that what needs to be healed first is that pain.
Yes.
And then that automatically or makes it easier for us to forgive or to get another perspective. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Pain is power. And what do I mean by that? When we are in pain, the person who caused us pain still has power over us because they have and had the power to cause us pain, right? However, when we open to the light, the healing, the grace, the sustenance, the peace, the embrace, and the support of God, in those places within us that have held that pain is healed. That pain is ameliorated or minimized or mitigated. That pain is surrounded by love and dissolved by love. And when that pain is dissolved in that way, then that person has no power over us because the pain that they caused us, which was their power, is gone. And that's when we can say, be gone. You have no power here.
How wonderful. Again, that book will be coming out here on September 1st, which is Someone's birthday. I wonder who that is.
I wonder.
Let's see, September 1st. Oh, Jim Webb's birthday. Your birthday.
Yes.
Will you have a special price?
Yes. I will have a special introductory price of 99 cents.
What?
Yep, and let me tell you why. There's always a method to my madness because I went to the Wharton School, right? And the method to my madness is this. If everybody under the sound of my voice and everybody that they share this broadcast with buys my book on the first day, it becomes an Amazon bestseller in its category. It gets exposed to so many more people who will buy it that it that basic giveaway on the first day catapults it to a new level and exposes a whole world of people to the book who wouldn't have seen it. So you're doing yourself a favor by buying it for 99 cents, and you're doing the world a favor by exposing the book to a larger segment of the world.
So another question that I have is, so if we hold on to unforgiveness, how does that block our prosperity?
I'll use a cliche that everybody knows to begin this. Being an unforgiving or holding a grudge or holding a grievance is like drinking a poison and expecting the other person to be sick, to get sick. In other words, we cannot, when we attract a reflection of what is within us. That's called the law of inner cause and outer effect. So if there is pain within us, if there is anger within us, if there is resentment within us, if there are diminished feelings of self-esteem because of something that happened to us, if there is self-judgment and self-rejection and self-hatred within us, we're going to attract a reflection of that. But when we heal that so that there is only love within us, or so that there is more love within us than other stuff, we start attracting more loving circumstances. And that's why forgiveness, which is synonymous with oneness with God, which is synonymous with our consciousness of ourselves as holy, beloved beings, which is synonymous with our allowing the light of God that God created us to be to shine, that state of being attracts our good. And that is a state of forgiveness. And that's how we forgive our way to prosperity.
Wonderful. And again, if you wonder what you stumbled onto this evening, hello there. This is the Friday evening Fireside Chat here on Your New Thought Media Network. We are joined this evening by a very special guest, the Reverend Jim Webb, who is the host of our Miracle of Prosperity program on Sunday evenings at 8 o'clock Eastern. He's also hosting a brand new program called Spirit Speaks on World Affairs. That's at 5 o'clock Eastern Time here on Your New Thought Media Network. And it's also streamed live on Jim Webb's Facebook page and also his YouTube channel. Okay. Tell us about the fall classes coming up here.
All righty. Well, we laid a good foundation because what we've been talking about today is we've been talking about how we come to heal ourselves so that we can heal others. So we brought a whole bag of tricks to heal in this lifetime, which is why this lifetime might seem to be so challenging for so many of us. But we came in this lifetime to heal all the stuff from prior lifetimes because this is the first time in the Earth's evolution in a very long time that there's been enough energy to heal it, that there's been enough light to heal it. So we brought all this stuff. And what we're going to do is heal our soul trauma on Mondays for 6 weeks. Spirit speaks on past, between, and future lives. It looks at all the stuff we brought in from past lives to heal in this life, how it has affected this life, and how we can heal it now so that for the rest of this life, we can have peace and joy, and so that we can construct future lives that are only peace and joy. So this life is truly a turning point for us. And Spirit will guide us all individually on how to use this life as a turning point so that the next part of our life can be radically different from the prior parts of our lives, and so that our future lives can be lives in heaven instead of lives in hell. By that meaning, lives of joy and peace and abundance and ease and harmony, instead of lives of conflict and struggle and pain and lack. So that's what Spirit is going to help us do for 6 weeks, starting on September 9th.
But wait, there's
more.
more.
Yes. I do my classes in twofers, two for the price of one. And so on Thursday nights, starting on September 12th, I'm doing Deepening Your Spiritual Connection, learning to talk to Spirit more, learning to hear and understand and discern what Spirit is telling us more. And that deepening connection with Spirit helps us to feel that blessed assurance that we've all yearned to feel, to experience. It gives us courage. It gives us hope. It gives us a sense of assurance and a sense of peace. You know, how wonderful it is to know that Spirit is with us at all times and that we can dialogue with Spirit at all times and get guidance from Spirit at all times, even if we don't take it, like I didn't take it when I was at the top of that mountain. But just turning on our channel, because remember, we can all channel to some degree or another, and how that walk in enlightenment can help us all. So I'm here for 6 weeks to facilitate you opening to Spirit, discerning Spirit, feeling Spirit, hearing Spirit, understanding Spirit, and allowing yourself to be guided by Spirit more than ever before. So that's what we're doing on Thursdays for 6 weeks, starting in September.
All right. So, having had past experience with these classes, they sell out quickly. If you are at all interested, now is the time. Today is the day that you better sign up, because if not, come the beginning of September, the class will be sold out. All right. So go on Jim's website, ReverendJimWebb.com. He'll give you more information. This is his phone number, 202-253-6009. Or you can go ahead and email him at ReverendJimWebb@msn.com. And just to remind you here, coming up on September the 1st, for 99 cents on Kindle, you'll be able to get Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. All right. And so if we could have everyone who's watching get a copy of the book, read it, and then please put a review on Amazon. That will really help the book, and also to get it into the hands of those who desire it at this time. So Forgive Your Way to Prosperity. Again, buy the book for 99 cents, and then go ahead and then leave a very positive review. And please join us on Monday here. Spirit Speaks on the World Today.
Yes.
The world
today.
Yeah, not like the world tomorrow. I always like that. Again, that's on Monday nights. That's at 5:00 Eastern. Spirit Speaks on the World Today, 5:00 Eastern, here on your New Thought Media Network. Jim, it's been a real privilege and pleasure working with you the past couple of years. And I just wanted to continue much, much more in the future.
Yes.
And it's always, you are a bright light, a bright healing light in the world. And how much I appreciate you and all that you do here. And so thank you so very, very much. Any parting words for the evening?
Well, I want to thank you, Michael, and thank you for having me. And all the things you think of me, I think of you. I'm rubber and you're glue. Anything you say to me bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Hey, I saw a mutual friend of ours at the Celebrating Our Souls conference.
Yes.
Ed Miller guy.
That Ed Miller guy.
Yeah, I told him Ed is a frequent guest on the Miracle of Prosperity. And so Ed gave away a copy of his book. I said, Ed, now next year or next time we meet, I said, not only should you give away a copy of the book, but you should give away like 3 days, 2 nights in Fort Lauderdale, where you
Lives.
He told me, he said, he'll work on that.
Oh, good. Good. Well, I'm going to make sure I put 17 entries into that pot so he can pick my name.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Are we eligible?
Oh, families and friends, I guess we're not eligible, huh?
Oh,
Oh, well. Oh, well.
well. Jim Webb, again, thank you very much. Again, join us this coming Sunday evening at 8 o'clock Eastern. Who's your guest this week?
It's Reverend Daniel Newsom, and we're doing something fascinating. We're doing a show called Your Holiness is Your Key to Prosperity. Holding your holiness as a key to prosperity. And it'll be fascinating.
Oh, that's going to be a great show. 8 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Mountain Time here on your New Thought Media Network. Again, Jim, thank you so very much. I'm going to take you out of the shot here for just a few moments, and then we'll talk afterwards. Again, thank you so very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay. And it's time for us to go here. Boy, that hour goes by quick. Just want to let everyone know again, thank you for your love and support of this network and of what we are doing here. And again, we are really changing lives. When we go out to these conferences, we hear nothing but good stuff from individuals who are being loved and supported through this programming. So again, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you do and for your loving support, both in prayer and also your financial support. On behalf of all of us here at the New Thought Media Network, especially our senior visionary, and that is the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, and also our guest this evening, the Reverend Jim Webb. I am Reverend Michael Mangus. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night and a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.